Is Thanos right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all I need to know.
Bunch of fucking idiots.
Anyway, welcome to the Shameful Lock Super Bowl edition. My name's Gabe. I got my co-host here, Blake Profio, and our supreme leader, Timothy Triplett, making a fun appearance just for the holiday. And I'll come out and say it, Super Bowl is a holiday. If you don't think it's a holiday, weirdo. Anyway, we've got some recapping to do before we get to our picks. This is going to be our second to last episode. We'll go ahead and give 2 picks each. And then we'll do a small mini episode next week, just do some season-long recaps, see how we did. But before we get to that, we'll do our recapping real quick. Blake, I'll start with you or 2 weeks ago. This is 2 weeks ago, actually, now. Championship weekend. Blake, you went 1-1. Both of your picks, all of our picks starting last week were actually Shame-Ful Locks, our best bets. So they will be tracked under that category. But your first pick was Travis Kelce over 62.5 receiving yards. I think that was the most sweat-free bet you've ever had.
Oh yeah, that was easy. I think it cashed. It cashed like probably in the first half or really close. So,
I think he had like 67 in the first half.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, that was great. And then your second Shameful Lock last week was Brandon Ayuk over 80.5 receiving yards, which I'd argue you kind of finished on the hook there because I think he finished with like 72 or something like that.
Yeah, he was short. Honestly, I thought he would kill that. I thought he would kill it, but he just wasn't really getting the targets. Kind of losing Tim here, but
But yeah, like you said it, he wasn't getting the targets. He had one big catch for 51 yards, I believe, but yeah, he finished just short. So that's unfortunate for you. Oh, he's back at a different angle. Wow.
Yeah, I like to switch it up, keep it fresh. Keep everyone on their toes.
Would you say funky fresh?
Froggy fresh.
I know what I was saying.
That's lost on you, isn't it?
Anyway, my picks last week for championship weekend, I had Jahmyr Gibbs over 14.5 yards on his longest rush of the day. It hit early on. I think it hit right in the second quarter. He had a 15-yard rush that ended up being a touchdown, which is great. So it exactly hit by 0.5. And I don't think he even got close to 15 the rest of the day. So very lucky for Gabe. I remember when that happened, I thought it was a 14-yard touchdown. So I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. I'm a yard short. But it ended up being exactly 15. So great cash for me. And then, as I always go for one of my picks, at least I always love to do a little 2-legger. The editing and graphics team on this show hate me for it. Curse me dead.
The post-production team, just absolutely hates when you pull that garbage. It's a nightmare to try and fit in that box is what they're telling me. But I'll keep you posted. They've been forewarned this week, so they have some prep to do, but hopefully they'll get it done.
There's a holiday going on. Be nice. It's the holiday season. Anyway,
exactly. They need to be home with their families.
They better start learning to work from home. Or did they get a new CEO too?
Let's not go down that
road. My other pick last week was a little 2-legger teaser. I had Chiefs plus 10.5. They went outright. And then Detroit plus 14.5. Big blown lead for Detroit. Sorry for all the Detroit fans out there. That was heartbreaking. But they easily cover that 14.5. I ended up going 2-0 for a positive 1.72 units last week. I now move to 33, 32, and 1, it being positive 2.58 units. The great news about that is not only am I positive for the second week all year long, I am guaranteed to have a winning year. If I lose both my bets this year, they're only for a unit each. I'll still be positive 0.58. And if you were to tell me that 6-7 weeks ago, I would say you're a crazy man. No way I do this. But I'm on a roll. It feels good. Blake, you had a 1-1 week last week, so you lost a little bit of juice there. You lost 0.1 units. You're still doing fantastic. You're 38 and 28, positive 14.54 units.
Insane, man.
Oh,
yeah. And like I said, both of our picks last week were in the Shameful Lock category. So Blake, you now move to 11-7, and I moved to 9-9. So sitting at 500. And before we get going here, Tim, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on you, but I'm going to.
Please.
You currently sit at 5-3-2. I think you've only been here for like 3 or 4 shows this year, which I'm not saying is a bad thing because you've always preached your quality over quantity. And like I said, this is a great turnaround compared to last year's picks for you. But you're only positive 1.62 units. So see, theoretically, you missed both these picks for you. You're going to have a negative year.
And what, ending 500 record wise? Because it's 5-3.
Yeah, you're 5-3-2, which funny enough, both of your Shameful Locks have been pushes. So you're 0-2 when it comes to your best bets. And you know what you're giving 2 of this week?
I'm the
best bets.
I'm the king of the push, baby.
Yes.
Get my money back.
Last little housekeeping note. Our touchdown parlay, last week was the last week of it. We're done with that for the year. It did finish off in a winning fashion. We moved to 6-9 on those on the year. So if you had been putting $10 on those, like every one we recommend, you'd be up $234.40. So thank you, Pacheco and David Montgomery last week for both scoring a touchdown.
That's big time. That's some big time cash right there.
That is. I mean, I really didn't. We were doing that kind of as a fun little side thing to do, but I didn't think we'd end up being that profitable putting just $10 in every single one of them. So that feels good. Next year, who knows? Maybe next year I put more money on it because I mean, theoretically, you put $100 on every single one of those, you're up $2,000. Say theoretically. Theoretically.
Why not?
I wouldn't recommend that.
It's a lot of money on the line for a guy like me, though.
That's true. Anyway, I put all the pressure on Tim for the Super Bowl and this great holiday here. Tim, I want you to start with your first pick.
Oh, I'll happily start. All right. Well, I'll start you guys out with kind of my mindset going into the Super Bowl. Obviously, big Packers fan. We have made a habit of it in the past 12 years of losing to the 49ers in the playoffs. I think we've lost to them 5 times now.
Tradition unlike any other.
Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Could be Kaepernick, could be Alex Smith, could be Brock Purdy. Doesn't matter who the coach is, Harbaugh. It doesn't matter. We're losing to them in the playoffs. That's what's going to happen. So naturally, I've built up quite a disdain for the 49ers among other teams. One of which we got to beat in the playoffs this year. That's fine, But and then so I mean, I have utter disdain for the 49ers. Then you flip the script on the AFC side, right? And you have just the most pitiful storyline that I've seen in sports in a very long time. The amount of just pathetic free press that we're giving this untalented blonde Southern chick is pissing me off, man. Yeah, I mean it's sick of me. And I'm gonna tell the post editing team to drop in a meme right here where my finger is how I feel about this team or how I feel about this game. There's fingers everywhere, so it doesn't matter where they put it. At this point is the visualization of I have for this game. So all that to say, long story short, as the football side of it, not really looking forward to watching this game. Hate both storylines. Don't really care who wins. Just ready to get to next year and watch Jordan Love in his sophomore starting season get to work. But with all that being said, the storyline on the AFC side, I think, is the one that prevails. And it's sad that I'm calling them storylines on each side, not teams, right? Just storylines, right? And there's no way in hell that the NFL lets this perfect PR opportunity of little Miss Taylor Swift with an album coming out here in the next month or so. There's no way they pass up on giving her, the photo opportunity of kissing Kelsey with the Super Bowl trophy in hand. So with that being said, I'm going with Chiefs plus 2.5 to cover the spread on FanDuel. That is at minus 115 on FanDuel. All of that, put into that's not a very football decision that I made there, but on the football side of it, I think Mahomes heats up in the playoffs. There's you just can't argue that at this point, and the Chiefs in general are just streaking right into the Super Bowl. So I love the Chiefs to cover that. Mostly, I took it because I think they're going to win. So,
yeah, and it gives you a little cushion room. Say by God, grace, miracle, they lose by 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I fully agree with that, Tim. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I just don't see them losing. Blake?
No, I agree 100%. And actually, let's move right into my pick because this is a perfect transition. Going off that, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. Travis Kelce, he just scores touchdowns in the playoffs. He scored in 2-3 Super Bowls that he's played in. I can already see now he's going to score a touchdown. He's going to do that little heart thing up to Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, plus 100 on FanDuel. Go grab it. It's gonna.
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. I think that's definitely going to happen. I mean, it's his go-to guy. What do you want?
That's all it is. Easy money.
Love
Fair
it.
enough.
All right. Sorry again to our producers and graphic design team, but as you know, we each get 2 picks this week. They can be anything. So you know what I'm going to do. Both of my picks are two-legger same game parlays. Hey,
It's technically 4 picks if you want. If you're counting it that way, but
hey,
theoretically, you're doing more picks this week than you have any other week of the season. So
theoretically, fuck off. Anyway, I'll start with my first one here. 2-leg teaser: Chiefs plus 8.5, and Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Like Tim just said, I think the Chiefs are going to win, let alone cover a spread of plus 8.5. I think if they somehow lose, it'll be a last-second thing. I just don't see them getting blown out in this game. I think they probably win outright. And then my next leg of that is Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I mean, the dude's a touchdown machine. He scores almost every game. In the last 2 weeks, he scored 4 touchdowns. In the playoffs, you ride the hot hand. You're going to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. He's going to score a touchdown. I got that at plus 100 at Bet365.
Yeah, obviously I like that pick a lot, and you'll see why with my pick. McCaffrey's just a machine, man. Just an absolute all-around athlete. There's not much, he can't do. We've seen him throw the ball. We've seen him catch the ball. We've seen him run the ball. Quite a gifted young white man, if I'm being completely frank. And with that being said, Gabe, you got him for 1 touchdown. I like him for 2. I like him 2 touchdowns. Here's my extra prediction too, right? I think one's receiving, one's rushing. I think he might even get a 3rd rushing. Obviously, I like the Chiefs to win. I think he's the only one that scores for the 49ers, if I'm being frank. The defense or the secondary of Kansas City has kind of been shaky, but for some reason I don't think the 49ers show up to play in this game. So I see McCaffrey just kind of getting that dog in him, so to speak, just being like, I'm gonna go do what I can and say I left it all on the field. He's that kind of guy. He's got that grit. He's got that dog in him. That bet for 2 touchdowns for McCaffrey is plus 230 on FanDuel. If I hit that one and miss my KC bet, then I stay positive on the year, right?
If you hit either of them, you will be positive because you only lose 2 units if you lose them both.
Because I'm up, 1.6 or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you'll probably lose a little bit if you hit the Chiefs one, but like I said, if you miss both, that's the only way to go negative.
Gotcha.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They're all going to hit. All these picks are going to hit. So if you're watching this, take every single one of them because they're going to hit. They're going to hit just like this pick right here. Patrick Mahomes, over 26.5 rushing yards. He loves to run the ball in the playoffs. He tucks it. He goes. He doesn't care. And every single Super Bowl he's played in, he's gone over this mark. He's hit 33, 29, and 44. It's just who he is. He's a gamer. He's going to show up. He's going to want the ball. He's going to run it. And against that defense, I don't know if they're going to have a ton of success rushing with Pacheco. So you never know. Mahomes might pull one for 20, 25, and you're right there. So.
Yeah, I like that pick. I definitely think, especially when things get turned up a level, Mahomes is definitely not afraid to run it out. And I feel like every playoff game he has kind of like some like little like BS magic. I don't say BS in a negative way, but someone where like, wow, that he makes someone look stupid for not tackling him for like 12, 13 yards. And he might, all it takes is him ready to do that twice, which he's very, very capable of doing that.
It's going to end up being a broken play, that looks like they got him dead to rights. And, he's just got Bosa coming down a runway at him, and he's going to spin out of it or some garbage like that and rip off 20 yards, whatever, in one run. So
Yep.
I definitely see that happening. You're right. When it comes down to brass tacks, he's like McCaffrey in that way. He's got that dog in him, so he's gonna tuck it and go make something happen.
Love it. I love it. All right. Final pick of the week. My last pick. I am going to, again, another two-legger. Sorry, production team again. Once again, hopefully they don't murder me. If I'm not here for the recap, you know why. But I'm rolling with one guy here. Just one guy. He's going to do two things for me. Going to Isaiah Pacheco. Anytime touchdown and 40-plus rushing yards. I got this for plus 100 at DraftKings. Pacheco's kind of been the guy right now for the Chiefs. He's been crushing it. They've been relying a lot on the run game in the last few weeks, this entire playoff run they're on, actually. He has scored a touchdown in all three playoff games they've played, and he scored a touchdown in all three playoff games. So it's 3 for 3 in the playoffs. I think the Chiefs are going to continue to ride the hot hand of their running back, especially against a defense of the 49ers, who has gotten crushed the last 2 weeks by running backs. David Montgomery had a touchdown and 89 rushing yards, and then Aaron Jones absolutely ran all over the 49ers defense 2 games ago.
Yeah, I love it. How does he run? He's the mean feet guy, right?
Yeah, just angry as he can.
The ground. Yeah. That's the type of guy you like in the late season, though, man. People are banged up. Obviously, not as much in the Super Bowl because you got that bye week, but it's toward the end of the year. You got some guys on the defense that are thinking about, Cancun next week, this, that, and the third. And he's not afraid to, as Marshawn Lynch put it, run through a motherfucker face. So yeah, I love it, especially with the stats that you brought up. He hasn't played a playoff game this year without scoring a touchdown. So that's a lock. And then, as you said, for some reason, the 49ers rush defense is not good. You'd think with that front seven that they have with, all the talent up there, adding Chase Young midseason too, that they'd be pretty stout in that run game, but it just it has not been the case the last few weeks, last few games, I guess. So, yeah, love the pick. Nice.
All right. That'll be all of our picks for this week. Again, I hope everyone enjoys the holiday, but before we go, I think based off all of our picks here, it's kind of fair to assume that we're all kind of leaning towards the Chiefs to win this game. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Blake? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if the Chiefs, if they can get Pacheco going out of the backfield, it just takes so much pressure off Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes can handle it, but it just makes his job that much easier. Right now, Chiefs have the better quarterback, the better coach, the better defense. I just think they're better in every aspect of the game. I know the 49ers have more weapons, but we don't really know what Brock Purdy's going to show up. And if he messes up in the first half, you're not going to come back on a team like the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So Chiefs are going to win. And then the dynasty is going to continue. So
I love that point with Purdy because we've seen it now in the past 2 playoff games where he has been flat in the first quarter. And I love Purdy. I do. But he has been very inconsistent. And he, to his credit, he comes back mean in that second half and makes the plays that he needs to. But he has been non-existent in that first half. And I like the way you put it, this Chiefs team with the way they're streaking and how hot they are, it's not going to be as easy coming back like they did against the Packers, even the Lions, from that deficit to then pull out a win. So absolutely need some consistent play from Purdy, something we have not seen recently. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you guys just said. I just think that if you want to win a Super Bowl against the defending champs and the Chiefs, you're not going to be able to come out and play, at least you're not going to get away with playing a bad half.
Amen.
All right. That'll wrap us up for Super Bowl edition of Shame-Ful Locks. Any closing remarks real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. Looks really bad. From, as you say, the supreme leader. I don't know if I ever signed off on that name, but we'll take it. Looks really bad. I'm sorry. I am coming to you live from the Talk of Shame studios. Usually not an issue we have around here. We have, cutting edge, top of the line technology, and it really stinks when it fails you. But to what Gabe said earlier, everyone enjoy the holiday, the Super Bowl. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really looking forward to it too much, but it's football and it's the last we're going to see of real football. until August. So I'm going to drink it in, every bit of it, and hopefully not lose too much money. I have $1 left in my FanDuel account. So we'll see how far that goes.
Hey, if you're not interested in watching the game, you know how to make it interesting? Gambling.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, well, wait. Mix the two. It's a great time when you mix the two.
It's a great combo. Great time.
Can't go wrong.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. That'll wrap us up. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Peace.